Um, my and then the question of whether or not they're going to go on social media, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. My guess is social media is going to be very different by that point in time.
How do you think it'll be different?
Well, I look at TikTok right now, which is probably the fastest growing social media platform, and I see a massive regulatory battle on the horizon for a company like TikTok that is powered by ByteDance, which is one of the most powerful AI engines in the world in China.
Yeah.
And I think about if I'm China and I want to create a problem in that area of the world, specifically a naval problem in that area of the world, in the South China Sea, I would probably want to utilize TikTok in order to influence the minds of Americans in a anti-U.S. propaganda, anti-Taiwanese propaganda effort in order to make any kind of war from the United States extraordinarily unpopular in order to defend the South China Sea.
Yeah, there's all sorts of ways they can manipulate our media and what our people think. That's right.
And I think that most people believe that there is media manipulation happening and misinformation campaigns happening, just not through their sources. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's wrong. And I think we're about to face a reckoning in that particular domain that is going to probably change what social media looks like in the future, because it's my sense as a fervent American is that it's.
That was Ashton Kutcher talking about TikTok. Just it was remember just a couple of years ago where the Trump administration was talking about TikTok being Chinese owned, and it came out yesterday. That would be July 21st. That the TikTok is actually owned and run by the CCP, pretty much. It's ByteDance. If you heard Ashton mention that, it's a company out of China, and the Chinese authorities are actually behind ByteDance. When Trump was saying he wanted to ban TikTok, there was a purpose behind that. Now, it's hard for Trump to sell that, because he is Trump, and the media was just completely against anything and everything he was saying. And they're also most of the left-wing politicians, Democrats, obviously, and their media arm, which is the legacy media in general. They have they're in the pocket of the Chinese. Let me read this to you. ByteDance, the owner of the explosive social media app TikTok, is in direct collaboration with the Chinese state police. By the way, thank you for joining me, Ada Jet Noise. Catch me on Facebook. It's been a while. I've been missing. On Facebook, YouTube, Rumble.com. Thank you, Rumble. As well as Parler. Let's get back into this. According to the Chinese media outlet Sohu, on April 25th, 2019, the Press and the Propaganda Bureau of the Ministry of Public Security and ByteDance signed a strategic cooperation agreement. So China's Ministry of Public Security, we got that, and ByteDance signed a strategic cooperation agreement. The Ministry of Public Security commands the nationwide Chinese state police and is the regime's central policing authority. The regime's central policing authority. All provincial, and city level police agencies are subordinated to the Ministry of Public Security. TikTok, owned by ByteDance, is a part of the Ministry of Public Security in China. They're focused on the ecology of social public opinion, media communications patterns, and audience reading habits, as well as public security propaganda and dissemination of power, influence, and credibility. In the next step, quote, this is a representative for ByteDance. In the next step, we will further increase the in-depth cooperation with ByteDance. Excuse me, I said that I said that wrong. This is a representative for the Ministry of Public Security. In the next step, I'll start over. In the next step, we will further increase the in-depth cooperation with ByteDance in the creation and production of new media content. The authorities, the police, the Ministry of Public Security will help ByteDance create and produce new media content. China. The CCP will create new media content, further enhance the public security propaganda and dissemination power, influence, and credibility, and promote the in-depth development of public security organs. For China, let's not forget that. The bombshell information comes into play amidst ongoing in conversation about misinformation and foreign influence operations in the United States. That was that little blurb there. Goes in the where Biden had mentioned that Facebook was killing people, right? He kind of walked that back, sort of walk that back. I'm going to play Biden's little supposed walk back on this. I want you to hear where the United States is willing to go when it comes to covering for China.
Questions?
Mr. President, you said last week that companies and platforms like Facebook are killing people by letting us.
Let me be precisely what I said. I'm glad you asked me that question. One, I had just read that on the Facebook pointed out that Facebook, of all the misinformation,
where's my pudding?
60% of the misinformation came from 12 individuals. That's what the article said. So I was asked that question about what do I think is happening. Facebook isn't killing people. These 12 people are out there giving misinformation. And
now, here, listen to that closely. Right? Like, when he mentioned last week that Facebook was killing people, he obviously didn't know. I'm sorry. When he mentioned last week the Facebook, there's an episode, what is it, of Mad About You, where one of their, what's the guy that was a dentist on there, the guy that played the dentist, where he says that he got inspired by the movie The Easy Rider. The Easy Rider. So, telling you how completely disconnected he was from reality. And this old man has the same disconnection of reality, the Facebook.
anyone listening to it is getting hurt by it. It's killing people. It's bad information. My hope is that Facebook, instead of taking it personally that somehow I'm saying Facebook is killing people, that they would do something about the misinformation, the outrageous misinformation about the vaccine. That's what I meant.
Have they done enough, in your opinion, to stop?
I haven't, to be completely honest with you, I don't know if they did anything today. Up to over the weekend, I don't think they had, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, that is what Joe Biden is talking about when it comes to that. The 12 individuals that he mentioned there. That is a group. They're calling them the people that want you to get the vaccine. They scrambled around and now they're calling them the disinformation dozen. And let me just give you quickly the names, and you may catch that you recognize some of these names. Joseph Mercola, Ty and Charlene Bollinger, Sherry Tempineni, Riza Islam, Rashid Buttar, Aaron Elizabeth, Sire G, Kelly Brogan, Christine Northrup, Ben Tapper, Kevin Jenkins, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, right off the bat, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Aaron Elizabeth, who, not necessarily saying that I know her well, but that did ring a bell, and Aaron Elizabeth is an actress. And a fairly popular actress. Just, a lot of, not necessarily big roles, but, some hit TV series and stuff like that. And she, she gets work. She gets work. Now, what I noticed about most, if not all of this list, is that most of, or I should say the people on this list are going to lean left in their ideology or their politics, what have you. I noticed that this list isn't necessarily easy to find. It just doesn't pop up. When you punch in something on Google, it takes a little. You don't go far down the rabbit hole. You don't have to go far down the rabbit hole, but you do have to go down the rabbit hole in order to find this list. And I don't believe that what Joe Biden was trying to do was correct himself or clarify what he was talking about. I think basically this list is just someone to throw. They need someone to throw under the bus. They need someone to throw under the bus, and these 12 people are the ones. These 12 people, there's not. They are actually talking about anti-vaccine. In particular, this one. And there's a lot of people that are vaccine hesitant. And that's basically what you're dealing with when it comes to the sort of stall in vaccinations when it comes to this thing. And what I'm getting at is why is this particular vaccine so important to government? Why is that? Because look at it like this. Right now, threats are going out everywhere. California is again talking about mask mandates with or without the vaccine. They're debating back and forth right now. If children should go back to school, or well, that's kind of an underlying debate. No one's necessarily don't go back to school, but they're saying that when they go back to school, with or without the vaccine, they should wear the mask. My whole point of all this is the disinformation about disinformation. You understand what I'm saying? We're willing to trust TikTok. Common everyday Americans are using TikTok to make these adorable videos of their family members dancing or, singing some nifty or lip syncing some nifty little tune or something along that lines. And we know, without a doubt, that TikTok is a spy engine into the American psyche. All these little challenges on TikTok, I don't know, drink, Kool-Aid standing on your head or light your eyebrows on fire. All these little challenges on TikTok are all little tests on what the American people are willing to do. I see grown doctors trying to push vaccines or mask on TikTok by doing little dances or rapping, doing little raps or something along like that. Like what was the TikTok doc that Jason Campbell, who by the way, now get this, a complete and total stranger on TikTok can influence a bunch of people by doing little dances and stuff like that. Meanwhile, this Jason Campbell, the TikTok doc, which is what he kind of goes by, has been accused of sexual harassment. And apparently by several nurses were in the hospital, several employees over the hospital that he works at. But he's able to get on TikTok and give you information, whatever medical information he feels that he needs to give you. And somehow we are supposed to deem him worthy of our trust. You don't know who he is. And he is a doctor. So he has some idea, obviously, of what he's talking about. But why? How is it that we're able to invest our hearts, minds, and souls into these people on a media source? On a media source that is owned by the people that want to literally tear us down, simply so they can hold power. Your kids are on TikTok. You're using TikTok. Here is it's owned arguably by our biggest foe. Meanwhile, the president is blaming 12 people for killing Americans because they question the vaccine. Now, whether or not most of these people question all vaccines, and there is a lot that do, and we have gotten by just fine with people that are anti-vaccine, period. Jenny McCarthy is one. She's living her life. She's not unliked. Some people might question her choice or her reasoning behind being anti-vax, but somehow we have gotten along with these people that are against vaccines in general. And in this particular vaccine, these supposed 12 people are the enemy of this country. But TikTok isn't. TikTok, once again, owned by ByteDance, connected, literally signed to connect with Chinese, the Ministry of Public Security, the Chinese police. They are literally spying on us through our silliness. Any goofy thing that we think that we can put on TikTok is exactly what we need. Is exactly what they need. Exactly what they need to tap into the American psyche. If you're going to use TikTok, use it wisely. Remember who is actually watching. Because the people that are giggle along or give you some sort of, like or whatever on TikTok, they're not necessarily watching. They're just reacting. The people that are watching have a much more insidious plan. Thanks for joining me. Ada Jet Noise. ADA Jet Noise. Yes, I've been away for a while, and I'm back. I took a vacation. From the hard stuff. I needed to get away because if you don't take a vacation from the hard stuff, you'll lose your mind. But I'm back. Thanks for joining me again. ADA Jet Noise, Ada Jet Noise on rumble.com. ADA Jet Noise, rumble.com, YouTube, Facebook, and Parler. Remember, all I'm doing here is starting the conversation. I don't have to be right. I just need to start the conversation. I will see you again soon. Until then, thanks for joining me. Big hug. Be good. Be still. Enjoy your life.